Right, but commercial haulers have to haul any demolition debris separately from household trash, and we do not pay for any commercial demolition debris that's picked up by a hauler anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I look at this, I'm comparing the commercial haulers, essentially are like 74% or more of the total bills.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say that the majority, obviously, of people in Skowhegan are using commercial haulers to get their trash to the dump?
I don't know if it's a majority. We do have a lot of apartment buildings that mostly have dumpsters, so that's multifamily homes. We have a high volume of traffic up there. I mean, you guys have been up there on a Saturday. We have people that are there multiple times a day. But we also have a lot of big businesses in town as well. When the trash gets picked up at the hospital and goes to waste management, we're paying it. When it gets picked up from Walmart, Hannaford, any business in town, we're paying it. So,
What about the school?
same with the schools. Yep.
Do you have any insights into these outlier periods where the charges are up in the 30s versus 19, 21? It doesn't seem to line up to Christmas.
If you'll notice, there's two notations that say wood on the side of those in the 30s. Because that includes the cost of disposal of the chipped wood pile.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly it.
have to haul chipper end up.
Yep. We have to come have it chipped and then it's hauled to waste management to be used as cover material, just the wood pile, not the brush pile.
And that's our chip wood?
That's our big pile of clean wood, no pressure treated, nothing like that down there. So yes, we get that hauled off for a reduced rate because they are using it for cover material at the landfill.
And they need it.
They need it because that thing has to be covered every single day.
So we dump it at a reduced rate.
Yes,
Okay, but it still drives our fee up.
yes. Yep, that's just for the disposal cost of the wood. That's just the tonnage that we're paying for, is that amount. That doesn't include the cost of having somebody come in and chip it.
Oh, really? So we
How
got,
much does that cost?
Our budget for that is $20,000 a year, right now,
10,000 for each of these pops?
approximately, yep.
Wow.
Actually, the last time he came, we were quite full. It was closer to 12.
When you say clean wood, are we talking like brush?
No, brush is separate.
We're talking about straight up?
Pallets.
The big wood pile. Brush is separate. The deal with the chipper is they come in, they do it for a great fee. They get to chip up the brush and haul it away and get rid of it, however means, which I'm assuming they're selling it. And then they chip up all the wood pile. That's why we do have to keep them separate. Chip up the wood pile and haul it to Norwich Walk.
So if it's not clean wood, it goes in the
Demolition debris.
CD,
Mhm.
that column?
Yep. Any pressure treated wood.
When you add in the 20,000 a year it's costing to chip this, it almost seems like it's more economical to have all of that go in the demolition pile.
You'd have to look at how many times we'd be hauling those containers at 235 a pop and the tonnage.
Why do we pay anything to drop it if they really need this material?
They still charge a fee. Mainly, it's more so for hauling and taking it as part of our waste management contract.
I think, yeah,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, because you'd be paying the tonnage,
wood doesn't fit in the dumpster.
Yeah,
it seems like.
right.
and we don't have a way to crush it really well up there.
it sounds like there may be a negotiating opportunity with them.
So we also pay for them to
Some-
do the
some.
brush, right?
They just chip it up,
Okay.
haul it away, no charge.
Oh, the brush is.
The brush is free.
The other stuff is.
It's the wood pile.
But we're paying them to move there. So that part of that $20,000, just to move a chipper in, and then you gotta have a.
That's their
a
fee.
log loader and stuff, it's.
Nope.
that's- They got their own.
They bring their own equipment, they bring the chipper, they bring their think it's an excavator, I believe.
Okay. so
Load it into the
this-
chipper, goes right into,
But the thing is,
Trucks.
that $20,000 is just, a lot of that's just moving to get it in there. That's a huge piece of it.
yeah, it's for chipping it all up.
Do we use somebody local for that, or who do we use?
There's
for that?
nobody local that I believe has that. I know in the past, they have discussed with Carrier Chipping, and basically he's told past people that he doesn't want that stuff because it's not guaranteed it's clean.
Well, he doesn't wanna take a chance of putting that in there. A lot of the stuff has other things in it,
Exactly.
and, you know, it'll wreck his chipper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Is there another way to get rid of this wood that you know of that's cheaper,
not that I am aware of.
like a bonfire?
That's one reason why I allow people to go down there. Take what you want. Just don't climb on it, be safe, no power tools.
Doesn't Sappy have a?
Cost you more to get rid of the burnt material than it would to get rid of.
The chips. And you would need really special licensing to have a burn pile.
So that's why I used to burn everything back in the day. But it cost so much to get rid of the burnt material.
Yeah.
It's considered a special waste.
I guess what I'd like to know is what they use for a chipper that is special.
It's DJ's grinding and chipping.
DJs,
No, Douglas Jones.
Douglas Jones.
Yes.
What is it?
It's a big chipper.
Yeah. Do we consider quoting a heavy duty one and trucking it ourselves and spreading it somewhere ourselves? If it saves money over 5 years.
Well, you'd have to talk to Jason about trucking,
No,
because
I could work.
I don't
that
think
out.
my pickup truck would work.
I could work that out, but I don't know how much the chipper is.
You don't wanna put our trucks up on that landfill. You're buying more tires.
Uh-huh.
And when they truck it, they have like the big farm tractor tires on the,
It's big 18-wheelers with containers, open-top containers that they use to truck it.
I won't put you through it then.
Yeah, you don't want to be taking highway trucks up at the top. Trust me, I don't even drive my own vehicle up there. They give me a ride when I go to the top.
Jason, I might.
Cindy, last year you had, some quoted rates to show that our contracted rates are gonna keep going up and up and up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Contracted rates at Northwell.
Yeah.
Waste management.
Cindy, who are the biggest users of the transfer station? Like, would you call the hospital one, the school one,
Users of the transfer station or the amount of
the
trash?
amount of trash, basically?
That's gotta be hard to tell, right?
It is hard to tell. It all depends on how many dumpsters and how often they get picked up.
Right, and it's like, how are you gonna separate that?
Yeah.
Because
Without being there.
the school is a district,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but Scott even sucking up the cost of doing this. I hate to be nitpicky, but.
No, I know.
We're looking for something.
Yeah. I will say that all the schools have separate cardboard dumpsters at their facilities, so they are separating out cardboard. And I am working with the schools as far as plastics, tins, cans, mixed paper. That is something that we go around and pick up every Friday. They could definitely do better, but that's what we do.
That's helpful, but the principal's still there, we're paying for 57% scheduling
Yes.
of trash. If I go right by the cost sharing formula
Mm-hmm.
that we have to abide by, we're paying for 40-something% of the trash. And enough kids were talking about it,
Yeah.
I mean,
So our current contract with Waste Management goes through till June of 2029. That's our current contract that we're in right now. It was renewed July 1st of 2024, so it is a 5-year contract. So currently, the time period that we are in right now, we are paying, well,
Where you at?
this is just a copy of our contract. I can provide a copy to anybody that would like it. So the current rate for municipal solid waste, to send it to Waste Management, it's $76.50 a ton. Plus there is an additional $2 per ton state fee that was added a few years ago. So it's $78.50 a ton right now for MSW. And actually, if you look at the bottom of the charts, those are printed on there.
Oh, yep.
And you had and maybe we're just into a new contract period, but you had a graduated set of increases last year that we knew that we were gonna have to pay.
Yeah, and that is in the contract.
Okay, and in
Yep.
the contract, it's gonna go up again in
As of,
2029?
yeah, as of July 1st of 2026. So we used to be an annual contract with them, so it would switch halfway through our fiscal year. We did change that, so it does follow our fiscal year now. For budgeting purposes, they were great to adjust that for us. So as of July 2026, our fee will be $80.25 a ton plus the $2 fee. So we'll be at $82.25 starting July 1st from $78.50.
And will it go up again in
The next
that
one,
year?
the next fiscal year, it'll go to $84.25 a ton plus the $2 fee, so that's $86.25 a ton the following year.
What was this year's 82 what?
It will be $82.25 starting July 1st.
Yeah, and
And then-
talking about MSW or CD.
That is MSW.
MSW, so it says 75 a ton here.
That was in that fiscal year. It was 75. If you look at the other chart, which is our current fiscal year, the smaller one, up to date, up to the present, that's how much we're paying is the 75.
Gotcha.
So it's gonna go up July 1st, 2026, it's gonna go up July 1st, 2027,
Yep.
2028, and 2029?
We only go through till June 30th of 2029.
So where will we be in 2028?
So starting July 1st, 2028, we'll be at $88.50 plus the $2 fee, so $90.50 a ton.
Does it ever start to level off? I mean,
What's up, Ryan?
Let's not forget that the state is driving recycling, so that's gonna
Mhm.
ultimately drive up that. There's really no way of knowing where we're gonna be in 29. It could be, if it escalates at $4 a year, that could double. Who knows?
They are really pushing the recycling and the organics right now. And just so you know, the same rates apply to the construction demolition debris, the first rate with Waste Management, but their state fee is $5 a ton. So you have to add on $5 a ton for construction demolition debris versus a $2 a ton for MSW.
That's why I'm saying we don't know by 2029. If they're pushing for a 50% recycling rate, EP's gonna say, how to better force people to recycle than to charge them more money. So they can increase that fee, whatever the legislature gives them. the
I
authority
mean,
to
it
do.
just reiterates, we gotta get on it with getting the recyclables out of this.
Exactly.
Can you speak to the rates that you're getting for glass, plastic, cardboard, bits of paper?
Glass, we don't get anything. That is what we call the inert pile, the inert material. So when we collect that, we put it in the inert pile, and luckily over the past many years, we've been able to, people have requested that material as fill material.
As fill?
So we give it away.
My understanding is that Solon did the math on keeping glass out of their waste stream, and they bought a crusher and they turned it back in, they fold it back into the asphalt, goes back in the roads. Just ring a bell?
I'm not aware of that. I know that there used to be a crusher up there way before I was there, and they used to put it into barrels, crush it up, and ship it out, but we were paying more to get rid of it and more for the work.
There used to be a crusher at our station?
Yes,
Okay. Sarah Davis was.
just a very small piece of equipment. I think we got rid of that.
Okay. I think it's recycled into their asphalt.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you guys know about that, but that,
Nope, but we just give it away. The most we do is Jason usually helps us with some trucking to where it's going, and we keep it within Skowhegan, somebody in Skowhegan that might want it. But we've given it away to out on West Front Street when they were trying to fill in some land and stuff like that. I know down behind Harvey Austin's, he's taken quite a bit of the material. So basically we collect it, put it in a big pile. The most we do is truck it to where it needs to go, dump it off at no cost other than the trucking. And glass and porcelain, all that stuff goes into that same pile.
Jason, is
No, they use it for just landfill. So they'll fill in on the land, the people that are taking it anyway.
Wherever somebody's building or something.
Whenever-
they gotta
I
pay
understand,
something.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, my understanding is Solon is putting it back on the roads, but.
I would have no information on that.
Okay.
I don't work with the roads. You'd have to ask him.
Okay, so prices we're getting.
Yeah, so nothing for the glass, of course. Plastics, right now, our main pricing is with the naturals. I'm gonna tell you right now, the market is down right now. Cardboard, we're getting $67.50 a ton. Mixed paper, we're not getting anything right now.
Where does that go?
Still gets recycled. We still are recycling the mixed paper. We're still shipping it out. We're just not getting any revenue back for it right now, but that could change next month.
Are we paying for it to be shipped out?
No,
Okay.
How much we get for plastic?
We don't pay to get it shipped out.
no,
She just said we don't.
that's part of our Casella contract.
Good.
Yep. We don't pay for the trucking or anything like that. That's part of our contract with Casella.
So, Cindy, just, sorry, I'm jumping in. So it's 66 something a ton.
$67.50 a ton.
1 ton is maybe 1 3/4 bales, just for reference. 1.5 to 1 3/4 bales.
On average, it's 38 to 39 bales on a truck. Trucks have to be a minimum 40,000 pounds to ship them out. Right now, we're shipping a truck about every week and a half with the increase in recyclables we've taken in.
Week and a half, 40 bales.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, we're trying to figure out ways to alleviate the increasing costs. over
For the
next-
disposal fees, yep,
Right,
yep.
so one of them is recycling more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another would be, I mean, I hate to say this, but the dump stickers here are extremely cheap.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to Angel. She was saying hers is $20 per year.
There's room to raise that, but I think the other couple issues is, we need controls that are in place to really get a better, to know that only people from Skowhegan are dumping in Skowhegan. And if there's haulers that are doing that, I mean, it's hard to find them, but, you know, you gotta have a serious fine or something associated with it. So they know they've got to dump just Skowhegan. I'm just throwing it out there. That's
Yeah.
another issue. I also think that, we should definitely look at the schools. I mean, all the schools here, are putting out a decent amount of trash, and that should be shared among the district.
The only thing I will say, Whitney, and I agree, the only thing I will say is that when a Packer truck comes into town, they're not just picking up schools and then going to Norwich Walk. They're gonna fill that truck with whatever they can that is on their route in Skowhegan. So unfortunately, that would be very hard to determine exactly what amount goes to the schools.
No, the principle, we could, like I said, the cost sharing formula.
Yeah,
The way to just divvy it up from the start.
yep,
Yeah, that's what I'm
exact,
saying.
oh, okay.
You would be getting money from the other schools to offset this.
I think
It's a
it's-
conversation I'll have with John.
Yeah, and it
Yep.
just comes down to getting an idea of how much trash all these schools are producing.
Yeah,
They should have an understanding of how much trash they're producing. They have to provide containers for all the stuff, so. Are they gonna be willing to share that? Probably not, but they should have an idea. Anyone who runs a facility should know what's going on with it.
and I mean, and I know Brian knows, you know, I have offered and offered and offered every single year when, even before school starts, during school, whatever. Go in, show them what can be recycled, show them how to separate it, teach the kids, do all of that. And I'm working with Jess right now, the new facilities manager that took over. And, you know, we've gotten them set up with some toters, we've gotten a schedule on pickups and stuff like that, but it's still not nearly what we could be getting out of the school for recyclables.
But, yeah, the biggest variable is that third column, it's that
Mm-hmm.
direct to Norwich Walk.
Bill from Holmes.
And I think if, this is sort of the issue we've uncovered with the sewer, right? And that's what, you know, it's not as extreme with the sewer, but here it is. It's a funded by property tax only department, but there's a glaring loophole here where folks are exploiting that, and it's falling on the burden of folks who, you know, you have a retired person who stays at home, who's 80 years old. She maybe produces a bag of trash a week, but her property
And-
taxes are going up because commercial haulers potentially are dumping Madison, water bills, other
Potentially.
trash. A way around that. is
But
to
also, the bigger taxpayers
feel-
create a lot more,
Right.
so.
The way around that is unpopular with folks who don't like change, but there needs to be a balance of service fee and property tax. Your property tax will go down, and the service fee is appropriate to charge folks per bag would go up, right? I see if we implemented something like that, you're gonna see these other columns go up, because folks are gonna just bring their stuff to the transfer station, and that will
Right.
prove that they're a resident, right? It will drive the correct.
We can certainly monitor a lot better at the transfer station than we can by whatever's being
Absolutely.
picked up by a commercial hauler.
Right. And so I think that's something the board doesn't need to make a decision on, but we can kind of like honestly think about that. It's sort of common sense, right?
Yeah.
Not just stick with status quo because everyone's comfortable.
And there's a chart in there too that I had created for the last workshop that does show a series of other towns, the ones that have similar populations to Skowhegan. It's actually on a separate paper there. Well, no, 2 sheets there. Shows all the towns that had similar populations, went on the Maine's website, found all the towns a little bit above us, below us, found out exactly what they're doing as far as their recyclables, their trash, who pays for what, if they have paper bag, if they charge for a sticker.
Yeah.
So that just kind of gives you an idea.
And I've managed 3 transfer stations, and this is the only one that's been funded 100% by property tax. So
And-
maybe some small fees, but not. It's-
I did actually just talk to Reedfield this morning because she called me with a question. I asked what they do. She says they have 2 commercial haulers licensed in their town, and they must be small enough because they don't drive Packer trucks, and they bring it right to the transfer station. So that's all they have for commercial haulers. Of course, a lot smaller town, and her budget for the year is about $100,000.
I'm not really a fan of having people pay for that. I remember before I came here, that's how it was, and it was pretty ridiculous. And I start to think, well, what are you gonna do when you've got people in apartment buildings? It becomes very difficult. But I do think we should have some better controls. Come up with some kind of controls or procedures that could mitigate the dumping of trash from other towns.
Well, this right here, I see a correction if we, in my scenario, we wouldn't be charging for folks to drop off at the transfer station, right? You have better control of dump stickers, etc. If you decide to charge for this category here, right? Because Waste Management has the ability to charge haulers there, right?
A
Like,
lot.
They charge us.
Basically-
As far as the hauler.
Basically, what a lot of the other towns do is if a commercial hauler was to come into Skowhegan, just as an example, they were to come into Skowhegan, do their route, do their customers, because these people pay to have that service at their home. They would go to Waste Management, and that bill for that load would go to the hauler, not to the town of Skowhegan, and it would be up to the hauler to evenly distribute that bill between his customers.
How do we know that, bring up another point, what if half their load is paid privately and the other half is residents, and then they dump it and bill the town? That's probably happening.
What do you mean? I'm sorry, Nick.
Just the same way that they're going to Winslow and getting, or Norwalk, or
Yeah.
someone else's, if they have a private contract that this resident's paying, this property owner's paying, and then they also just dump it and say it's the town's, we get billed.
Yeah.
Right? So
We get billed for whatever's in that Packer
right,
truck.
So there's another glaring sort of
Yes.
loophole.
Yeah.
So, our fees paid for commercial haulers is 75% of this budget.
Yeah.
Yes.
The residential load is a little less than 20% of the budget.
It's not necessarily a residential load. That is what's coming through the transfer station.
Right.
A commercial hauler can come in, pick up 4 or 5 businesses, go around, pick up 20 residences,
So
20 apartment
less than
buildings.
20% is what what people bring up there.
Bring through the transfer station, yes.
But 75% is commercial haulers, so.
Yep.
How do we know that those of us that rent dumpsters, how do we know that we're paying less for that dumpster service since they don't incur a fee with Skowhegan's trash versus a rate that's issued to Winslow?
We don't.
And we may be paying the same rate as Winslow, and Skowhegan is still getting that charge, and they're making more money on us
Hmm.
in Skowhegan.
What you're being charged by the hauler, you mean?
Yep.
The scenario
Okay.
I just laid out.
Right.
But not right now, right? You're talking about if you laid out that.
No, right now.
No,
Well,
There's
for
folks that
instance, we
they're
pay-
making more
I-
money on
I
us.
pay
Mhm.
$80 a month for
This is
all
a
the
per-
apartments.
It's a
Right.
perfect example, and you also pay property tax,
But-
right? That campus gets funded.
Mhm.
But the fact is I think that's a pretty reasonable price.
No, but the
If
point
they-
is, if Winslow is also paying $80 a month, but Winslow charges them to dump and we don't, they're making more money on Skowhegan and we're
They're double
eating
dipping
it. The
Skowhegan.
taxpayers are eating it.
They're
Mhm.
charging the town after and it's not costing them anything, but they're passing a fee off to you. In
Mhm.
addition to the property tax you're already paying.
The other thing too is I did hear from quite a few residents this year, I'm sorry, Whitney, quite a few residents that have residential pickup, get a letter this year from one of the haulers that's licensed in town saying because of the tipping fee increases, your monthly fee is going up. Those residents aren't paying the
They're paying
tipping
property
fee.
tax.
They're paying taxes. They're not paying, the hauler's not paying for that tipping fee. We are.
Yeah.
But these customers are getting charged a higher fee to have that service.
They better go look back at their contract.
Oh, I had one call me. I said, yeah, that's not the way it works, but that's what they can do.
So when if you look at it, your $80 is paying for transportation of your trash only, then, and that's a good deal,
Mhm.
that's fine. But they're just charging you and they're not having to get charged to dump this. We
And
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
I think that the fees would be substantially higher if they started having to pay for those. loads.
Yes, it would, but your property tax would go down, because the 75% that we're paying right now in this column would then be evenly distributed. It would force residents, truly Skowhegan folks, to get their trash taken care of at the transfer station for free, where we have a control where you can check. I think the overall budget will go down it would take a few years, but the scenario would correct itself. And if
The overall
if we have
budget.
those non-residential
And-
things going in.
And hopefully, the hope would be to encourage people, if they have to start paying for their tonnage that they're throwing away, reduce that tonnage by recycling.
there's a natural consequence here that is not activated in this commercial haulers line when you see this. There's no built-in incentive to keep the cardboard out of the dumpsters because,
Or other recyclables, I mean, there's metal,
the
there's
hauler, the
everything.
user isn't paying for it.
Mhm.
And so we have had to fight tooth and nail at our business to get the commercial haulers to even separate, to even bring the cardboard that we are separating up to Cindy.
Mhm.
And not haul it here just because it's easier and it's a one-stop shop and who cares, we're not getting charged for it anyway.
Just a funny thing that I did do some research on. So we have a lot of businesses in town, right? Lots of businesses. So of all the businesses in towns, there's only 40 cardboard-only dumpsters that are picked up here in town by commercial haulers, and when they go around, pick up the cardboard, they bring it up to us and dump it on our floor. And 5 of those cardboard-only dumpsters are at the schools. That's all there is for cardboard dumpsters in town.
The hospital do it?
They do separate out their cardboard.
'Cause I could have.
I will say Walmart, Hannaford, and Tractor Supply, right? They do separate out their cardboard, they bale it and they sell it themselves or get rid of them themselves. But we still get all the trash from all the stores.
So we don't get the cardboard, but we get their trash.
Exactly. The only place that,
I'm happy as long as it's not in the trash.
Right.
If it's in the trash, it's costing us more.
Yeah.
I will throw this out here, New Balance, they separate, they bale all their cardboard, and they bring those bales up to us and allow us to sell them and get the revenue.
Nice.
Every single week, they're there with a truckload of bales, already baled, ready to go.
That's good.
Yep,
And Cornville brings you there still, right?
Cornville. We're getting Solons. I will shout out to Bolsters. They have been setting up recycling programs and bringing us recyclables from much further away towns. We're getting Jackman. They bring them down, all separated, drop them off to us.
Well, I'm doing my part, I'm bringing mine from Winslow.
Yeah, we can take the
Cardboard back,
recyclables from
drop it off
anywhere.
in the trailer.
So we do also have, we have the agreement with Cornville, we have the agreement with Solon. And a tentative grant coming for a couple other towns.
I think it's gonna be important to talk with the haulers to really find out what would be the cost then for these dumpsters.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now they're 88, and, you know, I know we can lower the real estate taxes or this and that, but ultimately, it's also going to cause rents to go up, because all the landlords gonna have to end up trying to figure out how much more this is gonna cost.
And the other option is if they want to bring it to us for $10 for every 2 years.
It's really difficult if you have 20 apartments, to get people to take, the whole idea is to get people to get their bags out of the building.
No, I understand that.
Because then you have a whole other problem.
Yep.
But, I mean, I see the issues, it's just that I think we really need to think it out about what would be the best way to go forward without, like, shooting ourselves in the foot without realizing it.
That's why I am basically here to provide all this information, show you what we're paying for, show you what's getting thrown away and stuff like that, and you guys review it. Just wanted to get this out there before budget season comes.
Can you speak to the ordinance that we already have about separation?
It does say that recyclables are to be separated from the trash.
And what are we doing about enforcement?
We're educating when they come through the transfer station, but other than that,
I'm just picturing me calling Dave because I saw someone throw a.
And the other thing too is, take a ride around town. The majority of dumpsters this time of year are wide open. We're paying to throw away snow and ice. Because whatever's in that dumpster is going in the packer truck and going across the scales.
Right, because the ice stays frozen.
And that was a big driving force to combat it.
I think,
Yes.
I think what we could do, this needs to be a multi-year conversation. It's not
Absolutely.
a multi-year conversation, but like with some actual.
Mhm.
I think we need to look at other towns that have commercial haulers set up with this, with the other setup where they get charged and get what they charge. Because that will give you an idea of what commercial haulers would here have to charge. And I think I would do an analysis on what percentage of the 75% is gonna go down, is it gonna save in property tax? You have a landlord with 40 units, they theoretically shouldn't be charging more rent because their property tax is gonna go down, but will it offset what the cost would be for the haulers to go up? That's what we need to look at
Yep.
and see if it's a feasible idea going forward.
And the other thing too is encouraging the landlords, encourage them to make their tenants recycle, make their tenants separate stuff.
Right, and so this is why ultimately these towns go to paper bag.
Exactly.
Because they haven't found another way, and I'll agree, I go into the dumpsters, my own dumpster, and my wife and I are dumpster diving to pull out cardboard, glass, this, that, because even the tenants, the only way to get them to basically fall in line is the paper bag, but I really hate the paper bag.
No, I
It's like-
understand. Yep.
It's dropping the hammer, and I'm just wondering if there's a way that we could sort of thread the needle there and not do paper bag, but somehow get more controls over this, so we can save ourselves money.
You're gonna run into though, if you start getting them paid per bag, the people are gonna say that they need to make people pay for the dumpsters too.
Right.
Well, basically, the fee falls on the people that are using the trash bags. You gotta buy your bags.
I think the code enforcement officer is gonna see a lot more trash in people's if we go that route.
Yep.
This is where I'd love to
Another
see,
piece, yeah.
I'd love to see a number cruncher do a feasibility study here.
Yeah.
Like, is it cheaper to provide town subsidized bags to get the stuff out of here that saves us money?
Yeah,
Um,
you're looking directly at me. I need more time.
And that.
You could add 60 more hours a week, I could do it.
So I did a pickup in Portland the other day. Garbage to garden, big green trucks, they're coming around picking up compost to keep compost.
I wish I could get them up this far.
So have you ever had conversations with them?
Every year at the MRA conference.
And they just don't wanna come up this far north?
It's not feasible financially wise. They prefer more of the condensed areas. And they charge a subscription fee to the person using it every month. That's how they make their money.
But so again,
Yeah.
could the town, feasibility study, could the town hire Garbage to Garden to come up here and collect all the compost? Would it save us money keeping it out of the?
They don't get hired by towns. They're their own entity. They're invited into the towns to do that.
So the motivation is.
Exactly.
because why would I wanna pay an extra fee? Because it reduces the natural
Exactly.
consequence of me creating too much trash. There needs to be
But-
natural consequences.
The majority of the towns that use those services are either paper bag or they're paying for their own tonnage.
That's what I mean.
Yep.
There's already a natural consequence in place which
Mhm.
motivates them to keep that stuff out of the trash.
Yeah. Also, the majority of those towns are single stream recycling.
Okay, can you just,
And that's because the town comes around and picks it up and does the sorting?
They don't sort it, they send it to places that sort it with machines.
And have you ever looked at that?
About 40% of it you have to pay for to get rid of your recyclables with single stream. You're paying a tonnage fee, and a lot of that ends up still going into the
can you
landfill.
explain single stream? So,
That's when you put all your recyclables in one bin and they pick it all up together.
And
They
town
send
then
it to a
pays to send
company,
it to
and we
somebody that
pay
sorts
to get
it.
rid of the recyclables, and it's roughly, I think the last time I had looked, they're around $70 to $80 a ton to get rid of recyclables when we're paying nothing, other than sorting them. So, yep.
The feasibility study would help us,
You know, for 60 seconds, like one more time.
would help us know where,
Mhm.
Absolutely.
where the biggest
it would.
bang for our buck is and where to
100%.
focus our attention.
Yep.
We can kind of see it, right?
Mhm.
Biggest bang for your buck, we get money for cardboard, keep it out of the trash stream, incentivize getting it
Mhm.
out, don't let it get wet, all that kind of stuff. We get money for.
I do have studies that have been done on Skowhegan and talked with several of the paper bag, Waste Zero
Okay.
was a paper bag company that came to show me how much money the town could make and all of this by switching to paper bags. So I do have studies on that.
Who was that, Waste Zero?
Waste Zero.
It's like, this is something I'd probably go to, like, if Peabody was still around. And have
Yeah.
them do a third party
Mhm.
actual feasibility study, because
Mhm.
Waste Zero's gonna have some skin in the game.
Oh, absolutely. They're trying to get our business, yeah.
Weighing the numbers, so, I wonder, it is really specific, I wonder what, it'd probably have to be an out-of-state firm that comes in to do it, I don't think there's any in Maine that would
Hmm.
look around, but it's specialized. You know, it costs money, but then you have the data,
Mhm.
so it is something to look at, it would be very helpful. Feasibility study on all these departments would be very helpful, but maybe we could look a couple in.
How much would it cost to have everybody's down installed?
You mean like door to door,
Yeah,
usually more expensive.
could you get a number?
Yeah, Casella bids those things. I live in Winslow. I get trash pickup at my driveway.
Waterville has his picked up.
Yeah.
We also have paper bag as well, and single stream recycling.
You do typically pay
Mhm.
more.
Yep.
When it comes to that, so.
Brian,
That's kind of the other piece that everyone seems to forget, like, as it stands right now, how much is our department, the code enforcement, going chasing people because there's trash in the yard? How much in legal fees are we paying to deal with those land use issues? It's pretty substantial as it has been for years.
Would it be limited?
The town's gone in and cleaned up 3 properties at, between 6,000 and 10,000 or more per property. It's gonna continue to snowball. The biggest thing I've heard when I was in the field, and Aaron's here, I'm sure too, we don't have the means to get our trash to the transfer station. It's a cop-out, elbow grease is free, but that's the sentiment, right? So that's the other side of it. We want clean and healthy neighborhoods. Our current system is not conducive to creating that environment. It's just not. So there's more to it than just the numbers on the spreadsheet up there. The impacts on other departments and their budgets as well.
So do you think that having a curbside pickup is a better way to go? Like, what's your
I
suggestion?
don't know, right? It could be, but it might not be. Well,
Yeah.
it really, we also need to consider the town's values. Do we value being environmentally friendly and making decisions, sound decisions to do better for the environment? Is that even being considered? Is that a variable in this discussion and the decision you make? Those are all things that you guys have to kind of wrestle with, right? So, I don't know. Nobody can say for sure. It will certainly, people would still have to get off the couch and pick up their bag and bring it to the end of the driveway. How are they gonna do it? I don't know.
Yeah, curbside pickup is very well established that it cleans up the town more than any other setup. But it does cost 20 to 30% more. So is it really worth $250,000 more dollars?
No?
So,
Do we know that?
yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of numbers right now, so I can get a specific one for Skowhegan, but it stereotypically costs more. And if you include recycling pickup too, it's gonna cost a lot more. If you don't, like Winslow doesn't include it, you have more folks putting recyclables in your trash, cause it's the only thing there, it's convenient. So it's gonna cost more.
I even considered, 6 years ago, looking at getting our own trucks and hauling it ourselves. The insurance costs alone on those vehicles.
Yeah.
just purchasing them.
Insurance, maintenance.
Back into equipment and everything else. Sorry, Jason, that was a freebie, so.
Well, you figure insurance, maintenance, drivers, all of that. Got to figure in as well.
We could certainly get the hard numbers from
Mhm.
Casella, for instance.
Yep.
But
No.
it's balancing.
No, I'm just here to provide the information and give you guys something to really think about.
Appreciate it.
Well, what would you like to see, Cindy, if you had it your way?
I don't like paper bag. I don't think that would be good for our town. Not at all. Honestly, I mean, I don't know about you, but I might have 1 to 2 bags a week. A lot of little residential households, and I'm sorry, they're up there every single week, sometimes every single day. Same people. They have their routine, they have that, they drop their recyclables off, come around, drop off their 1 or 2 bags. I don't think it's fair that a single-family household is paying for all the trash that's coming out of the hospital or Walmart or all these other big companies in town. If those places were to go to any other town, they'd be paying their own tipping fees. So I think we really have to look at what our commercial haulers are picking up and how we can help our senior citizens, our taxpayers, even apartment buildings, how we can help reduce the cost.
How do we collect that data?
As far as,
Figuring out what the commercial,
That's this column.
yeah, but
That's,
that includes residential as well.
right, we need the data, we need to separate it.
That's what I'm saying.
they don't separate, you
We
can't.
don't separate it, it's all.
Casella can come into town with an empty Packer truck,
Someone has to say-
stop at the hospital, pick up 20 residents, and then go to Norwalk.
But I'm assuming that's what you'd like to see is some of these bigger